Good morning. It is March 20th, 7:55 a.m. All of you that hear this video, I hope that you guys are doing well. Hope you're safe. Hope your families are okay. Seeing how California is changing, man, it's just scary. Looking at what's going on right now. If you guys want a movie that's really going to creep you out, me and my wife and my son watched it last night. Watch Contagion. It's really interesting how it parallels so much of what's going on right now in this country. So if you just you're in the mood for something a little different, Contagion to kind of wake you up to kind of it's a movie, but it mirrors real life or what's happening right now very closely. Giovanni posted this question number 5 from the take home quiz, and I want to go ahead and break this down. But what I'm going to do is, and I've done it on all the other videos. I think a lot of you, since you have all the paper copies, you really need to start marking the angles and marking the lines. So hash marks for the lines and arcs for the angles, so that way you can see exactly which triangle postulate you're going to have to use. But I think because, since of course we're not in class and I have been able to explicitly show it, a lot of you have the right sides and the right angles, but because you kind of don't realize the order, you get kind of mixed around on the postulate. So as we do these videos, pay attention to how I mark them. So it says that given that AE bisects BD, right? So AE is bisecting BD. So since BD is being bisected, let's go ahead and already put lines right here to signify that these two lines are going to be congruent because AE is bisecting BD. Excuse me. And then we have angle A is congruent to angle E, and they've already given us that. Angle A is congruent to angle E. Okay, so then now for number 1, for the statement, I can't write with this thing. They said that angle A is congruent to angle E, and that's given. For step 2, though, now since angle A is given angle E, I'm going to go with just the given. So now for step 2, I want to say that AE, segment AE, bisects segment BD. And that's given. And those two things we've already signified on the diagram. So make sure on your diagram too, on your paper, you went on ahead and you've put the green, or what I say green for me, but you put lines to signify that these two lines, hash marks, that these two lines are congruent, and arcs to say that these two angles are congruent. And then now, with us doing that, now we already did it on the actual diagram, but now I want to say that DC is congruent to CB. And we're saying that because the statement right above it in step 2, we said that AE bisects BD, and we already drew the lines up here. So now let's go ahead and say that DC is congruent to CB. We're just going to put here definition of bisect. Now let's look at step 4. We're going to say that angle ACB is congruent to angle DCE. And if we look at this, right, we're going to say angle ACB, which is right here, is congruent to angle DCE, which is right here. And we can look at those and see exactly what those are. And that came straight from the angle and parallel lines unit. Those are going to be vertical angles. And then now for step 5, we're going to say that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle EDC. And if we look at this here, I might do a different color for this one. We can see that we have an angle here on each triangle, then we have an angle on each triangle, then we have a side. So we have an angle, angle, side. And that's how that's going to work. So then now erase this here. Oh, that little purple thing isn't going to erase at all. Okay, that's interesting. So I'll do that again, even though I know it's weird. So we have an angle over here in the corner. So we have angles here. We have an angle here for the ones that are vertical angles. And then we had the sides that were congruent that we saw earlier from definition to bisect. So we have an angle, 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 side, side. So we have angle, angle, side. That's how this one is going to be congruent here. I'm going to keep this all. As long as you can see with the right type of pen. No, it's not, but we're fine. Oh. This is the one right here. Yes, angle, angle, side. Now, a lot of you did really well on making sure you added QED, but there are still some of you that somehow forgot that after all the notifications and hints I've been trying to give you. So just please pay attention. And this one's congruent by QED. So Giovanni, I hope this answers that question that you had. I have 3 other videos that were posted by students, so I'm only going to answer the ones that students actually said, hey, I'm confused on. I know grades have been kind of taking a hit. I know this is all this type of this learning is just freaking difficult and just hard. Everything being take home, knowing that most of your classes are really hands-on and interactive. But since everything is kind of changing, then I need some of you to help change with me. So that way, if you realize something is not working, send me a private email. I mean, go ahead and make sure you're using the documents that I send and post some questions. I mean, this is kind of what we're doing for now. So, and you see, I'm willing to make as many videos as possible. So if you know that you're not getting something, let me know what that is so I can help out. All right, this is number 5. I have a couple more that's on their way.